Metropolitan State University Denver Roadrunners get ready for game number 4 of the series. Mountain Lions going for the series sweep of the Roadrunners here, coming down to crunch time in the RMAC season. I'm Jared Werner. Thank you so much for joining us today as we get ready for these two teams to match up once again. Mountain Lions being very successful so far, 13-5 in game 1 on Thursday at Security Service Field, and then getting the wins 8-0. And again last night against MSU Denver to sweep the doubleheader yesterday. As we get ready, National Anthem just wrapping up here in Mountain Lion Park. I want to thank you for joining us today in the Easter weekend. For those of you that are celebrating, I hope everything is going well as people enjoy the holiday weekend. Mountain Lions getting ready. This is coming down to crunch time for them, as alluded to. Mountain Lions getting ready to host Colorado School of Mines. The half game behind the Ore Diggers coming into today's game, tied with MSU Denver. So the winner of this series will move alone, likely into third in the conference standings. And UCCS welcoming Colorado School of Mines here next weekend for senior weekend, and then going to CSU Pueblo for final weekend of regular season play. These two teams, as I mentioned, tied one game ahead of Dixie State in the conference standings. So you got 4 teams in the conference standings, all within a game and a half of each other. Going to start seeing some scoreboard watching as we get ready to go into the conference tournament at the number 1 seed. As we get ready to play here, Mountain Lions are going to be starting Daniel Silva on the mound. Daniel Silva, 7-1 on the season, 3.38 ERA, and 38 strikeouts. For MSU Denver, Brandon Doherty, 2-1 in the season with a 5 even ERA for the Roadrunners. Roadrunners trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, their longest of the season. UCCS, on the other hand, coming with a 5-game win streak. One more win ties the longest in school history. That was earlier this season. Mountain Lions right now 13-3 since late March, and 26 wins, already 2 wins away from their season record of 28 cent last year. 18 home wins, already a school record for the Mountain Lions as we get ready here for game number 4 at Mountain Lion Park in Colorado Springs. Another shot right there of Pulpit Rock as you see Daniel Silva on the mound for the Mountain Lions, getting ready for this final game of the series. Mountain Lions going for another series sweep on the season. Not much of a change from what we've seen so far from MSU Denver. Paschke, Anderson, Sewell will be the leadoff batters for their Roadrunners as we get set here in just a few minutes. Here at Mountain Lion Park, just below Pulpit Rock, up in the distance, Pikes Peak to our west, Rampart Range to our northwest, as it looks like Silva has wrapped up his warm-up throws, and we're getting ready to get underway here in game number 4. 9 scheduled innings here today between the Mountain Lions and Roadrunners. And MSU Denver going into a very tough stretch of the season for them. They will have conference leader Mesa at home next week and then close with Colorado Mines. So they will face the top 2 teams in the conference, at least coming in today, as that first pitch to Paschke, low outside for ball number 1. And we are underway at 12:07 p.m. here at Mountain Lion Park. 1-0 pitch on the way from Silva, just a little bit outside once again for ball number 2 to Paschke. Paschke, 301 hitter this season, a freshman for the Roadrunners, 1 home run, 2 triples, and 8 doubles for the Roadrunners. 2-0 pitch now from Silva. Contact's made, that ball's hit high. It's going to go into the outfield. It's going to be between Berger and Rumsey. Rumsey looks like he will make the play and does so in left center field for out number 1. Coming up to the plate for the Roadrunners, the left fielder for today's game, the sophomore hitting .365 on the year. .621 slugging percentage, helped by 7 home runs, 6 triples, and 9 doubles among his 58 hits. Paschke and then Sewell, the designated hitter. Top 3 batters in the lineup for the Roadrunners. So far, 1 up, 1 down. Here in the top of the first inning at Mountain Lion Park, pitched down the way from Silva, called strike by home plate umpire. And 0-1 pitch now, or 0-1 count now for Anderson at the plate. Low 70s here in Colorado Springs. Could almost start saying the hot word here in Colorado Springs, especially on that turf. It's probably a little toasty for those players. 0-1 pitch now from Silva, bounces in the turf for ball number 1. Compare that to just a couple weeks ago. Last time the Mountain Lions were at home, a little chilly. We're shoveling or sweeping snow off the field to get those games in on time. One's across the scoreboard. 1-1 count, 1 out, top of the first. As Silva delivers the pitch, a little outside for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Anderson against Silva. Mountain Lions have been very effective against Roadrunners. Right now, both teams tied for third in the conference. 2-1 pitch now on this way from Silva. Anderson there to field it at third. Will have time to get it over to Mallon at first, and does so for the 5-3 play. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first. As Logan Sewell, the designated hitter, up to the plate. Sewell, 337 hitter for MSU Denver. Second on the team with 10 home runs, at least in the lineup, as we see Anderson back to the dugout on the third base side. Sewell stepping up to the plate. Matt Malkin on deck for the Roadrunners. 2 outs here, top of the first. Pitch on the way from Silva. Contact is made and fouled off into the backstop. 0-1 count now for Sewell. Just single games across the conference, except for one doubleheader, as Christian is hosting Mines at games. Those games getting ready to start at 1, or maybe just a single game. Looks like conference websites showing 2, but both at 1 o'clock start time. 0-2 count now for Sewell at the plate, though. As we have Highlands going against Mesa. That game starts at noon as well. CSU Pueblo at Adams State. Those are all 12 o'clock games, along with Regis and Dixie, and then a 1 o'clock start between Colorado Christian and Colorado School of Mines. 0-2 pitch now from Silva. Contact's made. That's going to be a high hit ball. Walker Rumsey's coming in, but you also have McDermott coming out, and he's going to make the play in center field. And so 3 up, 3 down. As Mount Lions able to retire MSU Denver in order. We're going to go to the bottom of the first inning with Clark Berg Anderson leading off for the Mount Lions. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. Bottom of the first inning, you saw during that break, Brandon Doherty, the junior for MSU Denver, getting warmed up here. Starting pitcher is 2-1 on the season with 27 strikeouts and an even 5.00 ERA for the Roadrunners. He's going to be going up against Matt Clark to start the game. Clark, a .429 batter for the Mountain Lions, second on the RMAC with that. First in the conference with 66 hits and 18 doubles. Coming up to the plate here as the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the first inning. 0-0 ball game in early action at Mount Lion Park. Doherty with the pitch to Clark, a little bit outside for ball number 1. A little bit of other action in conference softball action. UCCS with a 3-2 lead at number 12, Colorado Mesa, bottom of the fourth inning in Grand Junction. In that game, 2 games scheduled between those two teams. 1-0 pitch now from Doherty, a little outside for ball number 2. 2-0 count now for Clark at the plate. As he steps back in, a little bit of a light breeze, kind of similar to what we saw yesterday, going just out to left field. 2-0 pitch now from Doherty, and strike number 1 to Clark. 2-1 count called by the home plate umpire Wilson. Another postcard day in Colorado Springs. Clouds, high clouds in the area, but very enjoyable weather. No threat for precipitation. Might be a little wet here as we go through the weekend, but won't be a challenge for this game. Swing and a miss for Clark. That ball's a little out, but 2-2 count now for him at the plate against Brandon Doherty. Clark steps back in. Berg on the deck. Anderson in the hole for leading off the Mount Lions. Here in the first inning, 2-2 pitch on the way and a called strike by home plate umpire. And the first strikeout of the day for Brandon Doherty, 28 now in the season, as Matt Berg up to the plate. Playing left field for the Mount Lions today. The sophomore hits .336 on the season. So we see him getting ready to step into the plate. 3 home runs, 1 triple, 2 doubles among his 39 hits. 33rd start of the season for him. 1 out, bottom of the first. Here between UCCS and MSU Denver, pitch on the way from Doherty. Berg checks a swing. We'll take that for ball number 1. One out pitch now from Doherty, and called strike just on the outside. 1-1 count now for Berg at the plate. Mount Lions have already secured the series win. Looking to go for the series sweep today against MSU Denver and move up in the standings in the process. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. Count is now 1-2 for Berg. UCCS 26-15 overall. MSU Denver 25-14. Both teams sporting a 18-9 conference record. As there's a logjam in the conference from the 2nd through 5th. 4 teams just a game and a half within each other. 1-2 pitch now from Doherty, a little high. Count evens up for Berg at 2-2. UCCS half game behind Mines. They're going to see the Ore Diggers at home next week. Ore Diggers with 2 against Colorado Christian at home today in Golden. 2-2 pitch, a little inside. Count now full for Berg at the plate. 3-2 for him. 1 out, bottom of the first. And Mountain Lion Park. Wind now shifting between left field and center field. So coming from the south and southwest accordingly. 3-2 pitch now on the way. That ball's made. It's going to have to go to the second baseman. He can't quite field it, so it's going to be a base hit for the Mount Lions. As Walsh had to move over quite a bit to try to make a play. He couldn't. And that ball goes in right field as Matt Berg now on the plate with a 1-out single over at first. Jake Anderson coming up to the plate, 373 hitter for the Mount Lions. 46 RBIs, leading the team in that category. 600 slugging percentage with 7 home runs, 2 triples, and 9 doubles for the juniors. He settles in the box, working with Matt Berg at first. 1 out and bottom of the first. Pitch on the way, a little outside and low for ball number 1 to Anderson. Berg only 3 of 4 in stolen base attempts this season for UCCS. Schmidt, the catcher, on deck for the Mount Lions. 1-0 count, 1 out. Here comes a pitch from Doherty. Catches the inside corner for strike number 1. 1-1 count now here in the bottom of the first. 1 out. Berg over at first with Anderson at the plate for the Mount Lions. Good crowd here. Beautiful weather in Colorado Springs for this single ball game to close out the series. 1-1 pitch from Doherty. Good contact made. It's going to be just fair on the right field line. So that's going to be at least a double. They're going to send Anderson over to second, and they're going to bring Berg all the way from home. Mount Lions going to try to take the lead. Anderson going to try to take third. 1-0 lead for the Mount Lions as Berg safely in with a stand-up triple. And Mount Lions with the 1-0 early lead here in the bottom of the first. Two hits for the Mount Lions to start the first inning. Perfect placement by Jake Anderson just on the inside of the right field line. And he makes it all the way to third without any problem. Ryan Schmidt up to the plate for the Mount Lions. 352 hitter for the Mount Lions. A freshman with 5 home runs, including 1 yesterday. Mount Lions threatening to take the lead. That ball's in the turf on the far side of Schmidt for ball number 1. Anderson stays over at third. In the first inning, Mountain Lions with the 1-0 lead. Well hit ball by Schmidt. That's going to be fielded cleanly by Wash for the 4-3 play, but Mountain Lions able to bring Jake Anderson home at the same time. So 2 outs for Mountain Lions with the 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. As Evan Richards, a DH, up to the plate for UCCS, the junior, hitting .319 on the season with the team leading 13 home runs. Good for among the conference leaders. Pitching on the way, a little bit outside for left-handed batter, but still catches the outside for strike number 1. 0-1 count now for Richards. Norton on deck. Should we continue here in the bottom of the first with 2 outs? Mountain Lions with the 2-0 lead. Swing and a miss for Richards. 0-2 count now for him. Doherty already with 1 strikeout so far today, trying to add a second one. 0-2 pitch, bounces in the turf for ball number 1, gets past Udame, who's catching today, but no runners on, so no need to worry about that too much for the Roadrunners. 1-2 count as Richard steps back into the batter's box for UCCS. 2 outs, bottom of the first, 2-0 lead for the Mountain Lions. 1-2 pitch now from Doherty, swung at and chopped off into the backstop. Count remains at 1-2 for Richards. Runs already today from Berg and Anderson. After a strikeout to start the inning, Mountain Lions able to put 2 on the board in the process. And Ryan Schmidt able to drive in Anderson from third. 1-2 pitch now from Doherty. Swung at. That's going to drop down possibly. It's going to be a base hit for the Mountain Lions as Richards will be safely on first base. He will stay at first. So 3 hits for the Mountain Lions so far in the bottom of the first with a runner on in Richards and Norton up to the plate. The right fielder hits .315 for the Mountain Lions, a senior with 14 doubles. One of 4 Mountain Lions in the lineup today with double-digit doubles. Richards at first, 2 outs. And now the 6th batter of the inning for the Mountain Lions. Mallon on deck. Should we continue? Here comes the pitch from Doherty. A little outside for ball number 1. 1-0 count now for Norton at the plate. Norton 1-0 count, 2 outs with Richards at first. Pitch is on the way, and that's a little high for ball number 2. 2-0 count now for Norton at the plate. Doherty 2-1 on the season. 28 strikeouts, 5.00 ERA. But already given up 2 runs here in the first inning. Two pitch down the way, that ball. 2-1 count for him at the plate. UCCS 5-game win streak, 13-3 overall since March 24th. In that 13-3 mark, we included a 6-game win streak. Good for the longest in program history. So a win today would match that in the early history for the Mountain Lions. 3rd season, 2-1 pitch, just swung out and missed. Count evens up for Norton at 2-2. Richards over at first for the Mountain Lions with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Mountain Lions with the early 2-0 lead against the Roadrunners. Trying to move into alone into 3rd in the conference standings. 2-2 pitch now from Doherty as Richards goes. That's fouled off over into the MSU Denver dugout. Count remains even at 2-2. So we see Norton right there. Catcher Udame for MSU Denver. 2-2 count confirmed by the umpire. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Runner on first for the Mountain Lions. Here in the final game of the series, as Doherty will step off a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of time. Get reset here for this 2-2 pitch from Doherty. Doherty making his 10th start of the year for the Roadrunners. Pitch is on the way. Swung at, it's going to go over right in between the shortstop and third baseman. So another base hit from the Mountain Lions. That goes to the left side. And so now 2 runners on with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. 4 hits for the Mountain Lions already today, as John Mallon, the first baseman, comes up to the plate for UCCS. A .252 hitter for the Mountain Lions. So runner in scoring position with Richards at second, Norton over at first, 2 outs bottom in the first with Mallon at the plate. Walker Rumsey on deck should we continue. 7th batter for the Mountain Lions in this inning. Pitch on the way from Doherty, and that nails Mallon in the back. And so now bases are loaded here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 outs. Norton goes over to second. Richards advances to third in the process. As now Walker Rumsey, sophomore, hitting .247, making his 26th start of the year with 11 RBIs. As Udame goes to talk to his pitcher Doherty, as does MSU Denver coaches. And now activity already in the Roadrunner bullpen on the third base side. Two to nothing lead. Richards at third, Norton at second, Mallon at first. Mountain Lions trying to break this open a little bit here and keep the momentum that they've built up in the last 3 games against the Roadrunners. As home plate umpire reaches out, conference at the mound breaks up, and we're going to get ready here to see Walker Rumsey for the first time at the plate today. 8th batter we've seen for the Mountain Lions. In the bottom of the first, Matt McDermott on deck should this inning continue. Out at any base for the Roadrunners on defense. 28 pitches already for Doherty in the opening inning. Pitch now from Doherty, and that will go past Rumsey for strike number 1. 0-1 count now for the sophomore for the Mountain Lions. Richards at third, Norton at second, Mallon at first with Rumsey at the plate. Rumsey 2 home runs on the season. Pitch 0-1 pitch on the way, bounces in the turf. Runners will stay though. Count is still at 1-1 for count goes to 1-1 for Rumsey, with 2 outs in the bottom of their opening inning. Wind is almost died down completely. 1-1 count is outside. Count goes into Rumsey's favor. 2-1 here in the first inning. As 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch from Doherty. Rumsey checks the swing, but can't quite do so in time. 2-2 count now for him at the plate with 2 outs. Bottom of the first, base is loaded. Mountain Lions with the 2-0 lead. UCCS going for their 3rd conference sweep of the series, having done so against Colorado Christian and Mexico Highlands already this year. All those sweeps coming at home. 2-2 pitch now on the way. Swing and a miss, and so Mountain Lions able to take a 2-0 lead. Thanks by hits from Berg and Anderson that are able to come home. Mountain Lions with 4 hits in the first inning to take the 2-0. Top of the second inning here at Mountain Lion Park. UCCS with a 2-0 lead After one complete inning, and it's the 4, 5, 6 batters due up for MSU Denver, and Matt Malkin leading off for the Roadrunners. Silva with the pitch down to Malkin, right down the middle for strike number 1. Malkin leading the conference with a .431 batting average, along with a .956 slugging percentage, held by a league-leading 20 home runs. 0-1 pitch now coming from Silva. That ball's hit high, but on the right side into the batting cages on the right side. 0-2 count now for Malkin at the plate. This is one of 4 games going across the conference today. Early scoring action already. Top of the second inning, Pueblo with the 4-0 lead at Adams State. So far scoreless between Regis and Dixie, and Highlands and Mesa, both those games in the top of the second, as that 0-2 pitch is called for ball number 1 to Malkin. 1-2 count now for Malkin at the plate, leadoff batter in the top of the second inning. 1-2 pitch now from Silva outside for ball number 2. So Malkin evens up the count at 2-2. At the plate, the senior making his 39th start of the year for MSU Denver. Starting all but one game for the Roadrunners. 2-2 pitch now from Silva. Curves back in, but not quite enough, and count goes full at 3-2. Full count for Malkin here, top of the second inning. Leadoff batter for the Roadrunners. Then you got Udame and Walsh, who we'll see here. 3-2 pitch now from Silva. And Malkin will take his base on the walk and lead off batter here in the top of the second. No outs as Malkin goes over to first right there. 16th walk that he has drawn this season as Draven Udame now up to the plate. The senior hitting .364 for MSU Denver. 2-0 lead for the Mountain Lions, but no outs on the top of the second. MSU Denver try and get on the scoreboard here in game number 4. Pitch comes back in for strike number 1 to Adame. 0-1 count for him at the plate. Daniel Silva, 7-1 record for the Mountain Lions, a 3.38 ERA. 38 strikeouts on the season. 0-1 pitch now from Silva. Swung at, that's chopped over to Anderson. He can't quite make it, so that'll be at least a base hit as Malkin will stay at second. So Udame with the base hit just over Anderson's head on the left side. Puts 2 runners on with no outs in the top of the second. Malkin at second, Udame at first, and now Zach Walsh, the second baseman, up to the plate. Walsh, the junior, hitting .277 for the Roadrunners. So already 2 up, 2 on for the Roadrunners in the top of the second, after they were retired in order in the top of the first. Walsh with his first pitch now from Silva. Checks his swing, does so in time for ball number 1. 1-0 count for him at the plate, no outs, top of the second. Udame at first, Malkin on second for the Roadrunners. 1-0 pitch now from Silva. Swinging that, has to go over to Anderson. It's going to be just fair, so one run at least will score for MSU Denver. That is right into the corner, left field corner. They're going to send 2 runners in, so a tie ball game at least, as that's a stand-up double. Quick play to home plate, but they can't quite make it in time. And so a 2-0 lead as both Malkin and Udame score, and now we're tied up here at 2 apiece in the top of the second. Walsh with the double. That wall hit ball. They've hit now 2 hits over on that side of the field. Just perfect placement for the outstretched arm and glove of Jake Anderson covering third. And so 2-2 game here, top of the second. No outs yet for MSU Denver, as now Cade Peters, the right fielder, comes into the plate. .269 hitter for the Roadrunners, working with Walsh at second. Back-to-back hits now for the Roadrunners. Pitch now from Silva. Catches the outside for strike number 1. 0-1 count now for Peters at the plate. Reynolds on deck for the Roadrunners. No outs, top of the second, as we're tied up at 2 apiece. First 3 batters have reached base, so 1 pitch is a little bit low for ball number 1. Malkin reaches on a walk, and then Udame with a single and Walsh with a double for the first three batters for the Roadrunners. 1-1 count for Peters at the plate, though. No outs, top of the second. 1-1 pitch now coming. A little bit low once again for ball number 2. 2-1 count now for Peters. Other Mount Lion action in softball. Colorado Mesa taking the 6-3 lead, currently top of the sixth in Grand Junction against UCCS. 2-1 pitch now from Silva. Outside for ball number 3. No outs, top of the second. These two teams tied at 2 apiece. Pitch is now on the way, swung at, and it goes into netting. So now full count for Peters at the plate. The junior right fielder for the Roadrunners battling here with Daniel Silva on the mound for the Mount Lions. MSU Denver trying to snap a 4-game losing streak with a win today. Yeah, Silva threatens to go back to second, but keeps a hold of the ball. Walsh will slide back in, and we'll reset here for the full count pitch to Cade Peters as he walks back into this batter's box. Three-two pitch now from Silva. That ball's hit well. It's going to go into center field. Rumsey's going to try to make it over there. It looks like he'll be able to, as Walsh tags up and will make it over to third. And so first out of the top of the second. 2 runs already from MSU Denver, and now they have Walsh over at third base as Owen Reynolds, the center fielder, comes up to the plate. Junior hitting .289 for MSU Denver, making only his 10th start of the season. Two runs apiece, UCCS 4 hits compared to MSU Denver's 2, but scoreboard just 2 runs as that one tries to check the swing, but it ends up going around. 0-1 count now for Reynolds. Ty Lightly, the third baseman, on deck for MSU Denver. Then after that, back to the top of the order. Sunny day in Mount Lion Park. A few high clouds, but not a lot in terms of shade. 0-1 pitch now from Silva. Outside for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Reynolds at the plate. Only one now in the top of the second. MSU Denver's already tied the game in the second, trying to take the lead with a runner on third. That is a called strike by the home plate umpire. Reynolds go behind and count 1-2. MSU Denver trying to maintain a third spot in the conference. With a win today, they close with probably the toughest remaining schedule in the conference. They got Mesa, who's currently leading the conference, and then Mines, who's a half game ahead of these two teams in Golden. 1-2 pitch now from Silva is in the turf a little bit. Count evens up at 2-2. So MSU Denver looking to at least get a win here before they go into a tough stretch to close out their regular season. Mount Lions also get Orediggers in the final 2 weekends. That game's next weekend here in Mount Lion Park. 2-2 pitch from Silva fouled off into the netting. Count remains at 2-2 for Reynolds at the plate. Walsh over at third base, 1 out top of the second. 2-2 game between the Roadrunners and Mount Lions. For the Roadrunners, Ty Lightly, the third baseman, on deck. So we see Reynolds right there, looking to put this ball into play and possibly bring Walsh home. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Daniel Silva today. Now 2 outs in the top of the second. Ty Lightly up to the plate for the Roadrunners. Junior hitting .254 in the season, 19 RBIs. Only 5 extra base hits among his 33 hits of the season. On deck, top of the order, and Zach Paschke if this inning continues, but Mountain Lions trying to minimize the damage here with Walsh at third base for the Roadrunners. 2 outs on top of the second. Pitch from Silva, a little bit high for ball number 1. 1-0 count for Lightly at the plate. Pitch now on the way from Silva. Swung it. That's going to go in the right center field. It's going to be between Walker, Rumsey, and Norton. Looks like Norton's going to make the play, though. And he does. And so Mountain Lions, after giving up 2 runs, able to retire the last 3 MSU Denver batters. And it's only a 2-2 game going into the bottom of the second, where the Mountain Lions will have the 9-1-2 batters, and McDermott, Clark, and Berg due up when we come back. Tied up at 2-2 between UCCS and MSU Denver as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Matt McDermott, the shortstop, stepping into the batter's box to lead off things for the Mountain Lions. The .372 batter for the Mountain Lions, making his 42nd start, making all 42 starts for Mountain Lions this season. Here comes a pitch now from Doherty, and it goes right to the shortstop, Paschke. So 1 pitch, 1 out on that line drive over to Paschke at shortstop. Now to Matt Clark. Clark struck out looking in the first inning for the Mountain Lions. Close game in Grand Junction for UCCS softball. 6-5 game in favor of the Mavericks. After a 2-run home run for the Mountain Lions on top of this in the 6th inning. Here comes a pitch now here. Baseball Clark. We'll take that. Go let that one go by for ball number 1. Other games across the conference, Mesa leading in New Mexico Highlands, top of the third there. Still a 0-0 game between Regis and Dixie, and St. George, top of the third in Utah. 1-0 pitch now from Doherty will be strike number 1 called against Matt Clark. 1-1 count for him at the plate. Berg on deck for the Mountain Lions as the leadoff batters here in the bottom of the second, tied ball game. 1-1 pitch now from Doherty. Strike number 2 called by home plate umpire. Clark struck out looking on his first plate appearance, trying to avoid the same fate here in the second inning. Doherty already with 2 strikeouts for the Roadrunners today. Moves the season total up to 29. That one's chopped off by Clark on the left side over by the MSU Denver dugout. Count remains at 1-2 for the junior. .429 batting average, good for second in the conference. Second only to Matt Malkin for MSU Denver. Already 1 out, bottom of the second inning. 1-2 count. Here comes a pitch from Doherty. That ball's made contact once again, but fouled off on the right side this time. Still a 1-2 count for Clark at the plate. After seeing 2 games, well, we saw 2 very quick games, especially in the first game. Almost 40 minutes into this game and only the second inning. 1-2 pitch now from Doherty. That ball's contact once again, but fouled off once again. 1-2 count still for Clark as he battles with Doherty. Clark back into the box for getting ready for the 1-2 pitch from Doherty once again. with 3 straight foul balls. Here comes the pitch from Doherty. That ball's put in the play. It's going to be washed to second base. Gets it on a couple bounces and the 4-3 play over to first base. And so a 2 up, 2 down for the Mountain Lions as we go to Matt Berg. He had a single in the first and then later scored on the RBI triple from Jake Anderson. Lions looking to capture that again here. Currently tied 2-2 in the bottom of the second. After Mountain Lions scored 2 in the first, MSU Denver answered with 2 in the top of the second. Pitch now is high from Doherty for ball number 1 to Matt Berg. That single on a full count in the first inning. Very light breeze right now going straight out to center field. 1-0 pitch from Doherty. That ball's put into play, but it's going to be a high ball. It's going to be in the shallow left center field. And it will be center fielder Reynolds to make that play. And so Mountain Lions 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third for MSU Denver, tied at 2 apiece as MSU Denver top of the order due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Top of the third inning here as UCCS and MSU Denver are tied at 2 apiece, and it's a top of the order due up for the Roadrunners. Here is Paschke, Anderson, and Sewell once again back up to the plate. The 3 of them went 3 up, 3 down the first inning. Mountain Lions trying to do the same thing today, but Paschke would like to get on base here. Second pitch as he'll see second time he'll see Silva almost hits him. Ball number 1 for Paschke at the plate. We've been mentioning softball action in Grand Junction track, also in Southern California and in Golden with the meets at Colorado Mines. That ball is hit over to McDermott. He has to field it across the body. It gets over to Mallon in time, though, for the 6-3 play at first base. Well played by McDermott over at shortstop to make that play across his body and get it over to Mallon in time. Paschke made it close with his speed. As now Anderson up to the plate. He ground out to third base in the first inning. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the third. Both these teams tied at 2 apiece. As I mentioned, track at the Nature's Bakery Invite in Golden, as well as at Long Beach State Invitational and the Mount Sac Relays. Pitch now on the way from Silva, a little inside for ball number 1 to Anderson. And then RMAC Conference Championships. Let's get away tomorrow with men's and women's golf. MSU Denver also on the women's golf side. Both teams have won conference championships on the women's side. 1-0 pitch. That's ball hit over to Clark. He's able to get it. He's not quite able to get it. Goes into center field. Just crossed the body, but it looked like he was in position to try to make that play. But now at least one runner on for the Roadrunners at first. That will be E4 against Clark. And so Anderson at first on the error as Logan Sewell comes up to the plate. He had a fly ball to shortstop to close out the first inning. 1 out in the top of the third for MSU Denver. Both these teams tied at 2 apiece, but right now Roadrunners working with Anderson over at first base. Anderson 11 of 13 in stolen base attempts this season. Pitch is on the way as Sewell shows bunt, but it fouls off along the third base side for strike number 1. Silva right there One strikeout for him so far today, 39 on the season. Came in today with a 3.38 earned run average. And now we have an 0-1 count against Sewell as Sewell steps back into the batter's box, working with Anderson at first base. One out, top of the third. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Silva. That one swung at this time and fouled off into the netting behind the home plate. 0-2 count now for Sewell. Malkin on deck. Malkin, the top hitter in the conference at this point in the season. 0-2 count for Sewell. He's back in the batter's box. Has Anderson at first base. One out, top of the third. Team's tied to 2 apiece. 0-2 pitch now from Silva. Swung out again, but fouled off. This time deeper behind the Metro State dugout. Count remains at 0-2 for Sewell. Nine scheduled innings in this single game. Close out the series between the Red Runners and Mount Lions. 0-2 pitch. That ball is this time chopped off over into the UCCS dugout. Count is now 0-2 still for Sewell to play. Nothing but strikes from Silva in this at-bat. After this, only 2 weekends left in the conference season before the RMAC tournament gets underway next month. Silva with the 0-2 pitch. A little outside for ball number 1. Schmidt thought about going back down to Malin at first, but thought against it as Anderson made it back over to first. 1-2 count now for Sewell at the plate. One out, top of the third. Pitch now as the runner goes, and that ball gets past Schmidt, and now Anderson tries to get over to third, and he's able to do so safely. And so a ball and a little bit of a miscue by Ryan Schmidt, as Anderson was stealing second no matter what, but then was able to reach all the way to third. And so now 2-2 count for Sewell to plate with Anderson at third base for MSU Denver. Only one out in the top of the third inning. And a swing and a miss. And so second strikeout of the day for Daniel Silva for the second out of the top of the third. Mount Lions trying once again. They have 2 outs with MSU Denver with a runner on third. They're trying to do the same thing they did in the second and try to keep the score where it is at 2-2 as Matt Malkin comes up to the plate. He was walked in the second inning and later scored for MSU Denver. A .431 batter for MSU Denver. Pitch now from Silva for strike number 1. 40 strikeouts on the season now for Daniel Silva. UCCS tied at 2 with MSU Denver. 2 outs, top of the third, with the runner at third for the Roadrunners. 0-1 pitch is swung out and fouled off for strike number 2. MSU Denver got on board with 2 runs in the second. Trying to add to it right here with their top hitter at the plate. Malkin right now behind them to count 0-2. As you see over there with Anderson at third. And that ball's in the turf a little bit. Anderson will stay at third though for ball number 1. 1-2 count for Malkin. Trying to bring Anderson home in the process with a hit for MSU Denver. And they should continue. Udame on deck for the Roadrunners. He had a single in the second. 1-2 pitch now from Silva. That ball's hit well. It's going to the right field. It's going to have to be Norton. Looks like he's going to be able to get underneath that dough without a problem. And he's able to make the play. So Mount Lions able to get out of that without any damage. After an error puts a runner on first, he reaches all the way to third, but still a 2-2 game as we go to the bottom of the third. Anderson, Schmidt, and Richards, the 3-4-5 batters due up for the Mount Lions when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. 2-2 game going in the bottom of the third inning. You saw a shot earlier today of the crowd here at Mount Lion Park with Pikes Peak in the background on the northwest edge of the UCCS campus. Can't quite ask for much better weather as you see Brandon Doherty, the pitcher for MSU Denver, already 2 strikeouts through 2 innings of work. 2-2 game here between the Mount Lions and Roadrunners, as leading off for UCCS, Jake Anderson had a triple in the first inning and then later scored that second run for UCCS in the first. Trying to do similar magic here right now. That ball's put into play once again, and well hit ball into the right center field. It's going to be between the second baseman and right and center fielder. It will be the center fielder, Reynolds, to make that play though. And now 1 up, 1 down through 1 pitch in the bottom of the third. Ryan Schmidt, the catcher, ground out to second in the first inning. Schmidt, the only freshman in the lineup for Coach Hadjick here today, comes back in. Mount Lions trying to take the lead once again against the Roadrunners. Pitch now on the way from Doherty, just a little out for ball number 1. Richards on deck for UCCS as leadoff batters here in the bottom of the third for the Mount Lions. 1-0 pitch from Doherty. Right down the middle for strike number 1 against Schmidt. He'll let that one go by. 1-1 count now for him at the plate. Doherty ready for his pitch on the 1-1 count. He delivers. Bat ball's put in the play. Is going to drop down in front of the center fielder for at least a base hit. And they're going to keep him at first base. And so a single for Ryan Schmidt puts him on base with the 1 out in the bottom of the third. Evan Richards had a single in the first. He had the RBI that brought Anderson home in the first. Looking for his second hit in as many at-bats against the Roadrunners. 1 out, bottom of the third, Mount Lions with a runner at first to try to break this game. Pitch is on the way, a little bit outside, but catches the outside for strike number 1 against Richards. 0-1 count for him at the plate. Schmidt, 1 for 2 on stolen base attempts on the season, only making his 16th appearance of the year. That ball's hit, but fouled off on the left side. Count is now 0-2 for Richards. Richards hit his single on a 1-2 count on the first. Part of 4 hits for the Mount Lions in the opening inning. He's now behind that 0-2 in the count with 1 out, bottom of the third with Schmidt at first. 0-2 pitch down the way. That ball's hit right up to the first baseman. He's going to make it for the 1/6 part of the double play, and they're able to complete it at the 1/6-3. And so we end the inning 1/6-3 ground double play as Doherty able to have the quick reaction to get over to Paschke and then over to Malkin to end the inning. So Mount Lions and Roadrunners tied at 2 apiece. We go to the top of the 4th, where we're expecting to see 5, 6, 7 batters in Udame, Walsh, and Peters for MSU Denver when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. kind of see there the wind picking up there, going out to left field, and the center field flag got Daniel Silver back on the mound for UCCS as he's getting ready to take on Draven Udame here in the top of the fourth. Both Mount Lions and Roadrunners tied at 2 apiece. No runs for either team in the third. Here comes the pitch now from Silva, and a little bit low for ball number 1. Udame, Walsh, and Peters combined for 2 hits when they came up in the second inning. Udame with the single in the second, then later scored. 1-0 pitch now from Silva. That ball put into play into center field. Rumsey has got a few. He's going to try to get on his motor, try to get it. It bounces off the back of the center field wall, and it will be a stand-up double for Udame to lead off the top of the fourth inning for MSU Denver. Definitely excited there for Udame right there. Second hit of the day for him. As Zach Walsh, he had a double in the second. As MSU Denver trying to take the lead here in game number 4. Keeping track of softball action, UCCS now taking the lead in the top of the 7th inning in Grand Junction, 7-6 against 12th ranked Colorado Mesa. Keep you updated as that game progresses, but good news for the Mount Lions in Grand Junction for softball. Right now, Walsh at the plate. He gets his first pitch from Silva, a little bit low for ball number 1, as Udame over at second with that leadoff double. Udame 7 of 8 on stolen base attempts this season. Third hit of the day for MSU Denver. All the hits coming in the 5 and 6 spot, but swing and a miss there for Walsh. Count evens up at 1-1 for him. Walsh double in the 6th inning. In the 2nd inning as the number 6 batter. No outs in the top of the 4th. MSU Denver trying to take the lead, their first lead of the day. 1-1 pitch now from Silva. Bounces in the turf. For ball number 2, Udame stays at second. Walsh already with 2 RBIs with that double in a second, trying to add one more here. 2-1 pitch. That ball's put in the play again. Walker Rumsey's going to have to walk all the way back to the fence to make that play. And it goes over. So 2-run home run for Zach Walsh makes it a 4-2 lead for MSU Denver in the top of the 4th inning. And now all the hit for MSU Denver coming from the 5 and 6 batters so far today. They've combined for a home run, 2 doubles, and a single. Now the 4-2 lead for the Roadrunners. No outs in the top of the 4th. 2 of the runs coming in both the 2nd and the 4th. Cade Peters flew out to center field in the 2nd inning for MSU Denver. Four runs on 4 hits for MSU Denver. Here comes the pitch now from Silva. That ball's hit in the left field. It'll be Berg. They've got 3 Mount Lions here tracking it. McDermott able to make the play, but just barely. He dives and makes it interesting. Good play for him, as he was on his motor to make that play over from shortstop. 1 out in the top of the 4th inning, as Cade Peters returns to the dugout right there. Owen Reynolds up to the plate, struck out swinging in the 2nd. And you see that play once again by McDermott. Well played by him as he slides in to make the play. Good work for him. Pitch now from Silva, as Reynolds pulls back on showing a bunt, but we'll take that for strike number 1. 0-1 pitch, 0-1 count now for him at the plate. One out in the top of the 4th inning. 2 runs already for MSU Denver in this inning, as 0-2 count now for Reynolds. He'll let that one go by for strike number 2. So Reynolds struck out in the 2nd, trying to avoid that same fate here in the 4th, while Silva trying to pick up his 3rd strikeout of the day. 0-2 pitch now coming from Silva. That ball put in the play. McDermott will field that cleanly. Has time to get over to Madeline for the 6-3 play. And so 2 outs now in the top of the 4th inning as Ty Lightly comes up to the plate. Fly ball to right field in the 2nd inning for Roadrunners. 2nd and 4th inning look like they could mirror each other. 2 runs for MSU Denver in both innings, and then so far the 7 and 8 batters both retired in those innings. Mount Lions trying to do the same with Lightly here as the number 9 spot. Top of the order top of the order on deck should this inning continue with 2 outs. Pitch now from Silva. Just outside for ball number 1. MSU Denver 4 runs on 4 hits. UCCS 2 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 1 error so far today. 1-0 pitch now from Silva. That ball's put in the play. Clark is able to get across the body. He's going to get over to Mallon. He does in time for the 4-3 play. And so MSU Denver takes the 4-2 lead on the 2-run home run from Zach Walsh. As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, the 6, 7, 8 batters due up in Norton, Mallon, and Rumsey. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Bottom of the 4th inning, UCCS down 4-2 to MSU Denver, as we will see Cody Norton coming up to the plate to lead things off for the Mountain Lions in the bottom of the 4th. Cody Norton single in the first and was able to reach over on second after Mallon was hit by a pitch. In the first inning, Mountain Lions had loaded the bases in that situation before a strikeout, and then their chance to take what was at that point a 2-0 lead and expand on it. MSU Denver 2 runs in the 2nd and 4th for their 4-2 lead so far. Pitch now from Brandon Doherty, gets a little bit away from Udame, the catcher, but a 1-0 count now for Norton at the plate. Mountain Lions trying to secure the series sweep, their 3rd series sweep of the conference season. 1-0 pitch now from Doherty, swung at and missed for Norton. Count evens up for him at 1-1. Mountain Lions able to secure the series sweeps both in home series against Colorado Christian and New Mexico Highlands. Was able to win the series at Adams State 3-1, but then split last week at Regis. 1-1 count right here. Norton coming back into the plate, or into the box as the leadoff batter for UCCS in the bottom of the 4th. No one to speak of right now, looking at the flag in center field. 1-1 pitch from Doherty, swung at and missed again for Norton. He falls behind 1-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. No outs here as the leadoff batter. And a 1-2 pitch, that ball's put in the play. Might drop down and see the second baseman. Can't quite get it in time, so at least a base hit. Norton will stay at first, though. As a wise decision, center fielder Reynolds able to come in to field it to keep Norton from getting any extra bases on that hit. But leadoff single for Norton, his 2nd single of the day, as John Mallon coming up to the plate for the Mountain Lions. Mallon hit by a pitch in the first inning, but Mallon, 252 batter. Norton on the base path, 21 stolen bases on the season. As first pitch to Mallon, called strike but home plate umpire as Mallon goes behind 0-1. Norton 21 successful stolen bases on 25 attempts. All over at first base with that leadoff single for the Mountain Lions. Mountain Lions down 4-2 as Doherty will go back to Malkin at first base, and Norton slides back safely into first. So an 0-1 count for Mallon at the plate for the Mountain Lions. Mountain Lions 6 hits so far today. They lead MSU Denver Roadrunner 6-4 in that category. As Norton goes, that ball's hit well by Mallon. It'll be a stolen. It'll put Norton safely into second. He was able to beat any shot that Paschke had to make it over for a potential double play, but Mallon out 6-3 at home at first base for out number 1, but Norton reaches second without a problem. Rumsey now up to the plate. Struck out swinging in his first appearance in the first. 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Mountain Lions with Norton in scoring position at second. Good jump by him. That would have otherwise probably been a 6-3 double play otherwise. Pitch now from Rumsey, a little outside for ball number 1. One out, bottom of the 4th, 1-0 count for Walker Rumsey at the plate. Here comes the pitch from Doherty. A little outside, and Walker Rumsey ahead of the count now, 2-0. McDermott on deck for the Mountain Lions. Here in the bottom of the 4th, 2-0 pitch. Ooh, that gets Rumsey pretty good. He will take first base after being hit by that pitch. So runners at first and second for the Mountain Lions. Norton at second. Rumsey at first now as Matt McDermott up to the plate. Hit a line drive to shortstop in the second inning. But comes up to the plate with a runner in scoring position. 34 RBIs for McDermott on the season. Top of the order, and Clark on deck for UCCS. Only 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Already 1 double play turn by MSU Denver today. Contact made but fouled off behind the right side of the grandstand. 0-1 count for Matt McDermott. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. UCCS trying to get on the scoreboard for the first time since the first inning. Currently down 4-2. One pitch on the way. That's way high. McDermott had the duck to not get hit in the helmet with that one. 1-1 count for him at the plate. Right-handed pitcher warming up for MSU Denver in their bullpen on the third base side. One's across the top of the scoreboard. 1-1 count, 1 out. Lions down by 2, but with runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch from Doherty. That ball is hit in the left field. It's going to be Anderson who's in best position to take it. And Norton runners will stay where they are. And that fly ball caught by left fielder Anderson for the second out of the inning. Norton stays at second. Rumsey stays at first as Clark up to the plate. 0 for 2 for him so far today. Trying to get on the scoreboard or trying to get on the offensive charts for UCCS. Strikeout on the first and ground ball to second base in the second. As he comes up to the plate, 34 RBIs on the season, just like McDermott, trying to bring at least Norton home and cut into this 2-run deficit to MSU Denver. Doherty with the pitch. That ball's fouled off for strike number 1. Clark right there, the junior, coming into this game, hitting .429, was second best in the conference. 0-2 so far for him today, though. Conference leading 66 hits and 18 doubles. 0-1 pitch now from Doherty. Outside for ball number 1. Odame able to keep that from going anywhere as runners will stay at second and first with Norton at second, Rumsey on first. 2 outs, bottom in the 4th. Mountain Lions trying to cut into this 2-run deficit. 1-1 count for Clark as he steps back into the batter's box with 2 outs in the 4th. One pitch down the way. Another high ball. Clark able to miss that one. He goes ahead on the count 2-1. Already Doherty's hit Rumsey. That's how he hit. He got to first. McDermott had the duck to avoid getting hit in the helmet, as did now Clark there. For the Mountain Lions. 2-1 count, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Runners at first and second for UCCS. Clark at the plate. Strong hitter looking for his first hit of the day. Pitch now on the way from Doherty. That ball's hit. That's going to go in the outfield. It's going to be, looks like Reynolds a few steps to his right to make the play, and he does. And so Mountain Lions able to put 2 on base, but can't put any of them home as they will trail 4-2 going into the top of the 5th. Top of the order due up when we come back for MSU Denver. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Top of the 5th inning, Metro State with a 4-2 lead against UCCS. And the top of the order for the Roadrunners as Paschke up to the plate 0-2 on his day so far. Paschke a 301 hitter for the freshman, only freshman in the lineup for MSU Denver. Trying to get his first hit of the day as that ball from pitch from Silva goes back past him for strike number 1 called by the home plate umpire. So Paschke behind 0-1 here in the top of the 5th. 0-1 pitch now from Silva, a little bit outside for ball number 1. Final score to report in softball, UCCS. The winner is 7-6 against number 12, Colorado Mesa. And game number 3 of that series, game 1 of today's doubleheader. So good job to the Mountain Lions in softball. That 1-1 pitch hit high. It's going to go into center field. Rumsey a few steps back to make the play. And so 1 up, 1 down for MSU Denver in the top of the 5th. As now Chase Anderson up to the plate. He reached base on an error in the 3rd inning. Got all the way over to 3rd but couldn't score. As he's now back up to the plate for MSU Denver with 1 out in the 5th inning. Roadrunners with the 4-2 advantage here in the final game of this series. Silva with the pitch, called strike by the home plate umpire, and now it's 0-1 count for Anderson at the plate. Trying to get you caught up in some other action across the conference for baseball scores. We're starting to get in the crunch time for conference postseason. 0-1 pitch, swung at and missed for Anderson. He's now behind in the count 0-2. Top of the 5th inning, also in Grand Junction. Mesa with a 7-0 lead against New Mexico Highlands. Regis down 2-0 at Dixie State, bottom of the 4th in St. George. First the 0-2 pitch on the way from Silva. And called strikeout number 3 for Daniel Silva, 41 in the season. Second out of the top of the 5th, 2 up, 2 down for MSU Denver as Logan Sewell comes up to the plate 0-2 for him so far today with a strikeout in the 3rd. And just underway in Golden, Colorado, Colorado Mines with the early 1-0 lead against Colorado Christian. Top of the 5th inning in Alamosa, CSU Pueblo with the 6-4 lead against the Grizzlies in that game. Everyone playing single games except Colorado Christian and Mines. They'll play a doubleheader. That pitch goes in the right field. It'll have to be Norton, who looks like he's going to make it, but it will go over the wall. So second home run of the day for MSU Denver will extend their lead to 5-2 on that 2-out solo home run as we see Sewell come around. He's now 1 for 3 at the plate today. Now expands the lead for the Roadrunners to 5-2. Malkin up to the plate. He scored in the 2nd after reaching on a walk, but flew out to right field to end the 3rd inning. Top hitter in the conference looking for his first hit of the day. And now the pitch from Silva. Strike called. 0-1 count now for Matt Malkin. Silva, 3 strikeouts so far today, coming into second, third, and now fifth innings. 0-1 pitch now from Silva. That ball's swung at and fouled off on the right side. Had the distance, but not quite the aim. 0-2 count now for Malkin. As Roadrunners with the 5-2 lead, trying to expand on it here. Home runs so far today from Sewell and Walsh for MSU Denver. 2 outs, top of the fifth. 0-2 pitch now from Silva. And a little bit low for ball number 1. 1-2 count now for Malkin. Udame, 2 runs for him so far today. He's on deck for MSU Denver with a pair of hits. The first Malkin on the plate. 1-2 pitch from Silva. Swung at, that's going to go in left field. It'll bounce in front of Berg for a base hit. And so back-to-back hits, a home run and a single with 2 outs for MSU Denver, as Udame had a single in the first, a double in the fourth. In his first 2 appearances for the Roadrunners, 2 runs he's scored on both those, off of both of those chances of getting on base. Malkin over at first for MSU Denver. 5 for 5 on stolen base attempts this season. And there's the pitch. Catches the inside for strike number 1. 0-1 count for Udame at the plate. Walsh on deck. He's also 2 for 2 on the day for MSU Denver. Had the 2-run home run in the fourth. MSU Denver, 2 runs in the second, 2 in the fourth, so far 1 in the fifth. A 1 pitch swung at us, chopped up. It'll be Silva. He can't quite make it. McDermott will field it, gets over to Mallon at first base for the 6-3 play. And so Mount Lions give up 1 more run in the fifth on the solo home run from Logan Sewell, as MSU Denver takes a 5-2 lead. Then to the bottom of the fifth, when we come back to 2, 3, 4 batters, and Berg, Anderson, and Schmidt due up for UCCS. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Bottom of the fifth inning, as Mount Lions try to cut into this 5-2 MSU Denver lead. They will lead off with their 2, 3, 4 batters, and Matt Berg, Jake Anderson, and Ryan Schmidt. Berg 1 for 2 on the day with a single in the first, and then later scored off the triple from Jake Anderson. As we're getting ready here, Brandon Doherty still on the mound for MSU Denver. 2 strikeouts for him so far today. Both those coming in the first inning. Here comes a pitch from him. Strike called by home plate umpire. 0-1 count now for Matt Berg. One pitch down the way from Doherty. That one's chopped off over into the MSU Denver dugout. 0-2 count now for Berg at the plate, looking for his second hit of the day as the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the fifth. Mount Lions trying to extend on this 5-game win streak and take the series from the Roadrunners. Already 26-15 on the year, 2 wins away from their school win record. 0-2 pitch now from Doherty. That ball's hit in left field. It'll bounce in front of left fielder Anderson for a base hit. So second base hit of the day for Berg as he's over at first. No outs, and Jake Anderson up to the plate. Triple in the first inning. Fly ball caught by the center fielder in the third. 1 for 2 for him so far at the plate as he comes up to the batter's box. Mountain Lions, as I said, 26 home wins, 2 away from last year's record win total. Only the third year of UCCS baseball history. 18 wins at home, though, already a school record for the Mountain Lions. These two teams tied for third in the conference standings, 18-9, half game behind Mines and a game ahead of Dixie, as the pitch from Doherty's a little bit outside for ball number 1. 2 weekends left in regular season conference action. UCCS, both teams will be at their respective home fields next week. UCCS taking on Mines, and MSU Denver taking on Mesa. So neither of those opponents will be easy for either team. 1-0, and that hits him on the helmet, and that's not going to look good. He's going to take a little bit of time to get up, it looks like. As Andrew Drax, the trainer, runs out there quickly for Mount Lions. Dave Hadjic also there quickly as well. Likely will be implementing concussion protocol, see how Jake Anderson is doing, but he went down quickly. Trash taking a look. That was a nailed right on the helmet. He's at least sitting up. That's a good sign. Looks like they're going to go start the concussion, see if he's okay to continue play or not. Anderson had a triple in the first. Fly ball caught by the center fielder in the third. This will move Berg over to second base in the process, but we'll see if we need to put a pinch runner on. In the meantime, Udame going to talk to Doherty on the mound, as is a MSU Denver coach in the process. We see Jake Anderson stand up. That's a good sign right there. And as you hear the crowd clap in approval, all the infielders now on the mound for MSU Denver, with a coach on there for the Roadrunners. Andrew Trax, a trainer for the Mountain Lions right there. Coach Hadjic right next to the side. Home plate umpire also right there, making sure that they can clear them to continue play or not. Last couple of years, that's been a major point of emphasis for the NCAA, but it looks like Trax, looks like he agrees he's ready to go. So Anderson will be at first base after being hit by that pitch. A little bit of time just to make sure he's okay. Infielders from MSU Denver still huddled on the mound. They just break as the home plate umpire goes out there. Doherty will still stay on the mound. Doherty has hit 3 Mountain Lions so far today in 4 innings of work. But now that brings Ryan Schmidt up to the plate. Single in the third, 1 for 2 day for him so far today, and he's coming into the batter's box. No outs, bottom of the 5th, with runners on first and second for the Mountain Lions. Looks like everything is good to go. Anderson over at first base after taking that hit to the helmet. Helmet looks like it did its job as it was supposed to. First pitch to Schmidt outside for ball number 1. There is activity over in MSU Denver bullpen. There has been now for at least a couple of innings for the Roadrunners. Mountain Lions trying to come to this 5-2 MSU Denver lead in the bottom of the 5th. 9 innings for these teams. 1-0 pitch now on the way. Goes into turf. It gets past Udame. Mountain Lions will move runners up 1 spot. So put Berg over into third. Anderson over into second. As that ball gets away from Udame, 2-0 count for Schmidt at the plate. Schmidt at the plate. Richards on deck for the Mountain Lions. 2-0 count for Schmidt at the plate. No outs, bottom of the fifth. Anderson on second, Berg at third. Mount Lions with 7 hits so far today. Here comes a 2-0 pitch, a little bit outside. Schmidt goes further ahead in the count, 3-0 against Brandon Doherty. Doherty, 2 strikeouts, both coming into first inning. He's got 29 on the season, making his 10th start of the year for the Roadrunners. 3-0 pitch now on the way, and first strike called for Ryan Schmidt. Still ahead in the count, 3-1 against Doherty. Three to 1 count now. What's bottom of the fifth? 2 runners in scoring position for the Mount Lions. Pitch is now on the way from Doherty. It's just catches the inside for a full count now to Schmidt. 3-2 count for him at the plate. Depending on where this ball is hit, could lead to a sacrifice fly. If not a hit, that would at least score probably Berg from third. And depending on placement, Anderson as well from second. That ball is hit on the left, on the third base side, and that will be a force out. So a double play for MSU Denver. Hadjic will try to argue the play over at third as Berg tried to get back in time. Right now, the ruling on the field is a double play on the 5-3. As Anderson's still over at second, Berg has not left for third base yet. He is still standing there. As Coach Hadjic is talking to the third base umpire. Looks like there will not be a change in that decision. So 5-3 double play, second double play that MSU Denver has turned today. And now 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Anderson over at second as Richards up to the plate. He hit into a double play in the third and a single in the first for UCCS. Inning should continue. Got Cody Norton on deck for the Mountain Lions. And that ball hit high into center field. There's going to be 3 Roadrunners there to track it, but it looks like Reynolds is calling them off for the play. And so Mount Lions had 2 runners in scoring position with no outs and then a double play. And now the fly ball to center field ends the scoring chances for UCCS. They trail 5-2 going into the 6th inning, where we expect to see Walsh, Peters, and Reynolds, the 6, 7, 8 batters, due up for the Roadrunners. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. MSU Denver with a 5-2 lead in the top of the 6th inning as they bring out Zach Walsh, the second baseman. 2 for 2 on his day so far, was a double and a home run in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. Home run scored 2 runs in the 4th inning as they took the lead in that inning. Here comes the first pitch from Silva. He's still on the mound. That pitch fouled off on the right side for strike number 1 to Zach Walsh. Got Walsh, Cade Peters, and then Owen Reynolds. First 3 batters for the Roadrunners here in the top of the 6th inning as they enjoy a 3-run lead at 5-2. 0-1 pitch down away from Silva, goes into the turf a little bit. 1-1 count for Walsh at the plate. UCCS trying to claim the series. MSU Denver, though, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak, their longest of the season. 1-1 pitch now from Silva. A little bit low for ball number 2. 2-1 count for Walsh at the plate. Same count where he hit his home run in the 4th inning. Walsh right there, now going back out to Silva. Silva, 3 strikeouts so far today. That ball's hit up right up the middle. Clark is able to field it. It's going to get over to Mallon in time. It's going to be a bang-bang play, and the first place umpire says yes, he did, for the 4-3 play. And so 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Good effort by Clark to get that across the body and get it thrown over to Mallon in time for the 4-3 play. Now Cody Peters up to the plate, 0 for 2 on his day so far, with fly balls into the right field. I'm sorry, into center field, and then caught by McDermott over on the left side. 1 out, top of the 6th inning. UCCS down by 3 to MSU Denver. Pitch now to Peters, called for ball number 1. Owen Reynolds on deck for MSU Denver. 1-0 pitch now from Silva. Called strike. Count evens up at 1-1 for Peters. Not a lot of wind right now in Mountain Park. 1-1 pitch will go by for another strike. 1-2 count now as Peters falls behind to Silva. On the mound, Silva looking for strikeout number 42 on the season. Currently 7-1, trying to be the pitcher of record if the Mountain Lions are able to take the lead. That ball chopped off on the right side, fielded by the MSU Denver base coach. Count remains at 1-2 for Peters. A few fans over on the right field hill getting some free baseball in right here on the beautiful day in Colorado Springs. 1-2 pitch on the way, a little bit low for ball number 2. 2-2 count. Second season of Mount Lion Park, 3rd season of Mount Lion baseball overall. First time that our Roadrunners have been here at Mount Lion Park on the alternating series. 2-2 pitch is fouled off again. Count remains at 2-2 for Peters at the plate. Peters battling with Silva. Peters went to a full count in the 2nd inning before his fly ball to center field. And then hit the ball in the play in the 4th inning on the first pitch he saw, which was caught by McDermott as he sprinted over from the shortstop position. 1 out here, top of the 6th, 2-2 pitch down the way from Silva. And Peters reached a little bit for that one, fouled off on the left side. 2-2 count for him still at the plate. Good crowd here at Mount Lion Park for game number 4 of the series, as conference baseball starts to wind down here in Division 2. 2-2 pitch now from Silva. That ball's put in the play. A high ball that's going to go into center field. McDermott looks like he might be the one to catch it, though. And he did. Mount Lions, almost a little bit of miscommunication cost him that one. They're able to make the play still. Credit that put out to McDermott, but he had to almost jump over Rumsey to do it. But 2 outs here, top of the 6th inning. Reynolds up to the plate, struck out in the 2nd, ground ball to shortstop in the 4th. Mount Lions have not been able to retire the Roadrunners in order since the 1st inning, and at least they're in position to do so right now with 2 outs on top of the 6th. Roadrunners, though, with the 5-2 lead. Swung and a miss for Reynolds for strike number 1. As Reynolds calls time. Take a little bit of moment before this 0-1 pitch from Silva. Winner of this game, able to take 3rd place in the conference going into the final 2 weekends. Metro is definitely with the harder of the 2 schedules. Both of their last 2 series against teams ahead of them in the conference standings. That ball hit on the right side. Looks like it's going to go foul just barely into the Mount Lion bullpen. 0-2 count now for Reynolds at the plate. 2 outs, top of the 6th inning. 2 up, 2 down so far for MSU Denver. Reynolds looking for his first hit of the day here. 0-2 pitch now coming from Silva. That ball swung out. It's going to go in the right field. Norton's going to have to come in to make that play, but it's going to be Clark in center field instead, and shallow right field instead. So 3 up, 3 down for MSU Denver in the top of the 6th. They still lead 5-2 though, As we go to the bottom of the 6th, UCCS with 6, 7, 8 batters, and Norton, Mallon, and Rumsey due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. MSU Denver with the 5-2 lead as UCCS coming up to bat in the bottom of the half of the 6th inning. Norton up to the plate, 2 for 2 day for him so far today with a pair of singles in the 1st and the 4th. Both times he was able to reach over to second, but wasn't able to get anything further than that. He also led off the 4th inning for the Mount Lions. Mount Lions trying to cut into this 3-run deficit the Roadrunners have created. Mount Lions took the early 2-0 lead, but it's been Roadrunners since. Here comes a pitch as Doherty back on the mound. Strike number 1 called by home plate umpire for the 0-1 count. Doherty 78 pitches, make that 79 with 54 strikes among them so far. Giving up 7 hits and the 2 runs both in the 1st inning. 0-1 pitch bounces on turf for ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Norton. Checking in on some other scores from across the conference. Top of the 6th inning, Colorado Mesa leading New Mexico Highlands 8-1 in Grand Junction. Top of the 6th inning in Alamosa, it is CSU Pueblo 8-4 against Adams State. Bottom of the 5th inning, Dixie State leading Regis 6-0. That game in St. George, Utah. 1-1 pitch first as ball hit right up to Doherty. He can't quite field it in time. We'll see if he can get it over to pitcher. 1-3 play, and the home plate umpire, or the first place umpire says yes, it was in time. Crowd disagree, but no other protest from UCCS. So the 1 up, 1 down for the Mount Lions as John Mallon comes up. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st, then ground out to shortstop in the 4th. Wasn't able to make it any further in the 1st as that loaded the bases before a strikeout at the end of the inning in the 1st. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Mount Lions down by 3. Getting caught up in scores, bottom of the 3rd, Mines leading Christian 1-0. As that ball's hit right to the first baseman, he's going to be able to field it without any problem for the unassisted play at first. So 2 up, 2 down for UCCS. Walker Rumsey up to the plate. It was hit by a pitch in the 4th to reach, but wasn't able to make it past first, and struck out swinging in the 1st inning. And over at softball, they were victors against Colorado Mesa in game number 1. Game number 2 about to get underway in Grand Junction in that game. 2 outs here at the Mount Lion Park, though. Mount Lions down by 3, 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning of this 9-inning scheduled contest. Here comes a pitch as Rumsey shows bunt, pulls back for ball number 1. McDermott on deck should the inning continue for the Mount Lions, but so far Mount Lions retired MSU Denver in order to the top of the 6th, and MSU Denver trying to return the favor here in the bottom half of the inning. 1-0 pitch now from Doherty for ball number 2. Mount Lions have not been able to get a runner past. They were able to get a runner into 3rd and the 5th. Out on the double play, 2-0 pitch now from Doherty, called strike. 2-1 count now for Rumsey at the plate. But other than getting Berg over to 3rd and the 5th, haven't been able to get a runner past second base since the 1st inning. Rumsey 2-1 count, 2 outs. Here comes a pitch from Doherty. Swung out, that's going to go in the right field. And there'll be Peters there. He's going to try to make it in. Looks like he's able to make the catch cleanly. After it looks like he was just going to be out to trot, but had to make a few extra steps there at the last second. But 3 up, 3 down for UCCS in the bottom of the 6th. As Roadrunners take a 3-run lead, 5-2 in the 7th inning, where they will have Lightly, Paschke, and Anderson, the 9-1-2 batters, coming up. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Seventh inning, MSU Denver leading UCCS 5-2. Looking at the pitching lines for both teams, other than the runs given up, it's been relatively similar numbers for both pitchers. Silva back on the mound, 89 pitches. Compare that to 86 from Doherty. UCCS, Silva with 3 strikeouts, Doherty with 2. And Silva giving up 6 hits, Doherty giving up 7. But Roadrunners so far with the run advantage, 5-2 in the overall score, as first pitch of the inning goes to Ty Lightly for ball number 1 from Silva. Lightly 0 for 2 on his performance so far today, and then it's back to the top of the order with Paschke on deck. 1-0 pitch now on the way from Silva, a little outside for ball number 2. 2-0 count now for Lightly at the plate. Fly ball to right field and a ground out to second base in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. A bit of a break here, called by home plate umpire. Wind is picking up a little bit out of the south. Everyone's ready. 1-1 pitch now on the way from Silva. That ball hit but fouled on the right side, as now it's a 1-2 count for Lightly at the plate. Silva, 92 pitches so far today. Make this 93 coming on the 1-2 pitch. That one swung out a miss for strikeout number 4 for Silva so far today. And 1 out here in the top of the 7th. First strikeout for Daniel since the 5th. Strikeouts in the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and now 7th innings. I'm sorry, 2-2 count. That was not a strikeout. So 2-2 count on the way, a little bit low. Count goes full. So a little ahead of myself right there. Top of the 7th inning here, Mountain Lion Park. MSU Denver with the 5-2 lead. 3-2 pitch now from Silva, and Ty Lightly will take first base on the walk.
Now batting number 3, Zach Paschke.
As top of the order now coming up into the batter's box, and Zach Paschke 0 for 3 for him so far today. 301 batter coming into today's game. So he's looking to get his first hit and working here in the top of the 7th as the runner at first and Lightly. As Mountain Lions go back to first, Lightly slides back in safely without a problem. Lightly 8 for 8 on stolen base attempts this season. Junior picking up his 10th walk of the year just about a minute ago. Pitch now from Silva as Paschke shows bunt. That's fouled off into netting in front of the press box for strike number 1. Oh, 1 count at the plate for Paschke. No outs, top of the 7th. MSU Denver trying to get a few insurance runs here. in the final third of the game. Trying to at least get one win out of this. Paschke shows Bunsick once again, has pull back, and that's ball number 1. 1-1 count now for Paschke. As he's not being shy about his intentions. Both pitches he's seen, he's shown bunt, with the intention to try to get Lightly over into second. So checks Lightly over at first. 1-1 pitch now to the plate. Shows bunt again as Mountain Lions try to go back over and almost got the pick off there. Schmidt able to get over to Mallon quickly. Hadjic will argue to play once again. It's a ball number 2 for Paschke at the plate. Mountain Lions thought they had the pick off there as they didn't think Lightly got back in time. That was a good throw from Schmidt to Mallon from catcher to first base. Coach Hadjic still trying to make his case. No change in the decision, so you still have Lightly over at first. 2-1 count for Paschke at the plate. He's shown bunt every time. No outs in the top of the 7th. Bunt once again from Paschke on the 2-1 count, a little outside. Now 3-1 count for Paschke at the plate. Lightly still over at first. In the top of the 7th inning at Mountain Lion Park. Paschke once again showing bunt. 3-1 pitch. That one is fouled off on the right side. So count will now go full 3-2 for Paschke as Lightly returns to first base. 3-2 count, no outs, top of the 7th inning. Lightly at first, Paschke at the plate. Has shown bunt on every pitch he's seen so far in this at-bat from Daniel Silva. He will swing again as runner goes. Foul ball off on the right side. Count remains full at 3-2 as Lightly returns back to first base for MSU Denver. Everyone sets back in. 3-2 count, no out. Top of the 7th inning with Lightly at first for the Roadrunners. Lightly goes again, swing and a miss. Schmidt has to go over to second base, but it's a little bit wide. Clark keeps it from going into center field. So strikeout swinging, that would be the 4th strikeout of the day for Daniel Silva now. As Lightly advances to second base in the process, and Chase Anderson comes up to the plate. Anderson reached on an error in the 3rd. Other than that, 0 for 2 on the day for him. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Lightly in scoring position with his 9th stolen base of the season. Here comes a pitch from Silva, called strike for strike number 1 to Anderson at the plate. 0-1 count for him right now. He struck out looking in the 5th on a 3-pitch strikeout from Silva. Lightly over at second base. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Silva, a little bit higher for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Anderson. Logan Sewell at the plate. He hit a solo home run in his last appearance in the 5th. Only run for MSU Denver. That was the last run that either team has scored. That got us to the 5-2 game we're in right now. Right now it's Anderson at the plate. One's across the scoreboard. 1-1 count. 1 out here in the 7th. Silva just over the 100 pitch count, and there's the 1-1 pitch. Silva almost able to get that one. Clark is able to get it into center field and get it over for the 4-3 play for out number 2. But in the meantime, Lightly goes over to third base, and so 2 outs, top of the 7th with Anderson at 3rd. Second time he's reached 3rd for MSU Denver. I'm sorry, looking at Lightly, he reaches 3rd in the process. First time he's been on base today, but Sewell up to the plate, hit a home run in the 5th. 1 for 3 on his day so far, as Schmidt will go out to talk to Silva. There is some activity in the Mountain Lion bullpen. 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Mountain Lions trying to keep this a 5-2 lead, whereas MSU Denver trying to expand on their 5-2 lead, get a little bit of insurance going into their final few innings of the series. Home plate umpire starting to trot out to the mound to get a decision made in the process, but we got Logan Sewell waiting at the plate to designate the hitter. As I said, home run in the 5th, but struck out in the 3rd on a fly ball caught by McDermott in the 1st. Two outs in the 7th inning with Lightly at 3rd for the Roadrunners. Mountain Lions have been able to effectively get outs with runners on 3rd. They did so in the second and 3rd innings. Trying to do so again in the 7th as that one's fouled back for strike number 1. A 1 count now for Logan Sewell at the plate. On deck, Matt Malkin should this inning continue for the Roadrunners. 0-1 pitch down away from Silva, swung out once again, fouled off once again. 0-2 count now for Logan Sewell at the plate. Silva looking for strikeout number 5 so far today, preferably strikeout number 2 of this inning as well. Already with 42 strikeouts on the season. Silva 3.31 ERA at the moment coming into today's game. 0-2 count at the plate, 2 outs, Bob top of the 7th inning. Runner on 3rd for the Roadrunners, as you see right there, with Lightly at 3rd. 0-2 pitch down the way, a little bit outside for ball number 1. So Sewell 1-2 count, extends the at-bat a little bit in the process. Mountain Lions trying to get out of this inning. They were able to hold MSU Denver scoreless in the 6th and trying to do so again on the 7th. 1-2 pitch down the way, that ball's put into play. Looks like on the left side it'll be Berg who's going to try to make it on the left side. Might go foul though, and it does. So count remains at 1-2. Looked like it had the distance though, just pull it back into the right, and that would have been a home run. The 3rd home run of the day for MSU Denver. That was the case. 1-2 count though for Sewell, so he comes back in. 2 outs top of the 7th inning. Lightly at 3rd for MSU Denver. Pitch now on the way from Silva, a little bit high and out for ball number 2. Count evens up for Sewell at 2-2. Silva putting in the work, as you see Sewell right there. Going for home run number 2. 2-2 pitch down the way, a little bit in. Oh, a called strikeout looking. So 2 strikeouts for Silva. Gives him 5 on the day as Mountain Lions able to get out of that inning without surrendering any runs. Lightly was able to get over to 3rd, but couldn't come home. And so MSU Denver will lead 5-2. UCCS will try to cut them to that lead in the bottom of the 7th with the 9-1-2 batters in the Mats. Matt McDermott, Matt Clark, and Matt Berg due up when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. Saw that during the break. A few hikers on top of Pulpit Rock. There's no way you could have got me on top of that part of the Pulpit Rock. I prefer my feet be firmly on the ground, but a great view here of baseball from atop Pulpit Rock here in the bottom of the 7th. UCCS, though, trying to cut into this 5-2 deficit here in the bottom of the 7th, as it'll be the Matts, Matt McDermott, Matt Clark, Matt Berg, leading things off for the Mount Lions here in the 7th inning. You see Brandon Doherty still out there for MSU Denver, 86 pitches. First one of this inning, swing and a miss for McDermott for strike number 1. McDermott 0 for 2 at the plate. 372 hitter for the Mount Lions this season, third best in the lineup for UCCS coming into today's game. Silva 111 pitches through 7 innings of work. Doherty still on the mound as well. 0-1 pitch swung at. That's going to be fielded by Lightly cleanly at third. Gets it over to first base and Malkin for the 5-3 play, and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Matt Clark now back to the top of the order, 0 for 3 so far today, trying to get his first hit. Normally a .429 hitter. Second in the conference behind Malkin for MSU Denver. But 2 pitches and 1 out so far for Doherty on the mound in the bottom of the 7th for the Roadrunners. Clark at the plate, trying to help Mount Lions rally and cut into this 3-run deficit. Pitch is hit over to Paschke. He has time to field it cleanly and get it over to Malkin. And so 2 up, 2 down on that ground out to shortstop for Matt Clark. And now Matt Berg had a single in the 5th, in the 1st, scored in the 1st. And 2 and 3 for his performance so far on the day. On deck, Jake Anderson, should this inning continue. He had that scary moment when he was hitting the helmet on the pitch, but was able to make it all the way over to second. Here comes a pitch now from Doherty for ball number 1. 1-0 count for Berg at the plate. 90 pitches for Doherty on the mound so far today. And Berg right there in the batter's box, getting ready for the 0-1 pitch. Here comes from Doherty, a little outside on the other side for a 2-0 count. Berg ahead in the count 2-0. Looking for his 3rd hit of the day. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Mount Lions trying to do something. 2-0 pitch, right down the middle for strike number 1. 2-1 count for him against Brandon Doherty. Anderson has reached base twice. He's on deck should the inning continue. He's reached base twice on his 3 plate appearances on the day. 1 run for him so far with a triple in the 1st. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung at, that's going to go into center field. It's going to be Reynolds. He's going to have to go back to the wall to try to make the play, and he looks like he's able to make so. We'll wait for the official call, but looks like that was a clean catch. So 3 up, 3 down for UCCS in the bottom of the 7th. They still trail 5-2. Neither team has scored in the last 2 innings. Got back up to the top of the 8th, middle of the order in the 5, 6, 7 batters, and Malkin, Udame, and Walsh. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. Eric Neely now on the mound for UCCS. He replaces Daniel Silva. He went 7 innings, pitching 111 pitches, giving up 5 runs, all of them earned, and 6 hits, struck out 5 batters, and walked 2 in the process, facing 30 in his 7 innings of work. Eric Neely coming in, 8.68 ERA, making his 12th appearance, 7 strikeouts on the year. And just over 9 innings of work. He will be going up against Matt Malkin as Neely able to field that one, get it over cleanly to Mallon. 1 pitch, 1 out on the 1-3 play with Matt Malkin. Matt Malkin, just 1 single for him today, the conference's leading hitter. Draven Udame now up to the plate, 2 for 3 so far today with a single and a double in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. Mount Lions trying to limit MSU Denver, but Mount Lions have not been able to put any runs on the board since the 1st inning. Have been able to limit MSU Denver, have given up a run since the 5th, and that was a solo home run. But Eric Neely so far on the mound, 1 pitch, 1 out. That pitch is hit by Udame, and it's going to be Berg who's able to make it, so 2 pitches and 2 outs. Effective so far for Eric Neely in relief. And 2 quick outs here in the top of the 8th. And Zach Walsh now up to the plate. He had a 2-run home run in the 4th, a double in the 2nd. 2 for 3 day for him so far today. Among the 6 hits that the Roadrunners have tallied on a scoreboard for their 5 runs. Pitch now from Neely. Strike number 1. So 3 pitches, all of them have been strikes from Neely. So far today, already 2 outs to show for it. 1 pitch now from Neely. Little inside for ball number 1. 1-1 count for Walsh at the plate. Cade Peters on deck should in and continue. Peters will be looking for his first hit of the day. If we don't see him here in the 8th, we will see him in the 9th. Just hit the 2-hour mark in this game. 0-2 pitch now from Neely. Swung at. That's going to be just fair on the left field line. That'll be at least a double for Walsh. His 2nd double of the day as he's going to slow down and stay at 2nd. 3rd hit of the day for him. All of them have been for extra bases. As Cade Peters comes up to the plate looking for his first hit of the day in the number 7 spot for the Roadrunners. Owen Reynolds on deck. Should the inning continue for MSU Denver. 7 hits on the day for the Roadrunners. They've had 5 runs. No errors on defense. UCCS 2 runs off of 7 hits with 1 error in the 3rd inning. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Here comes the pitch from Neely. And the turf a little bit for ball number 1. Runner will stay at 2nd. As Peters goes ahead 1-0 against Neely. Neely checks back over at Walsh on 2nd. Now the 1-0 pitch to Peters, a little bit high for ball number 2. Walsh 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts on the season. Peters a .269 hitter, 0 for 3 so far today. 2-0 pitch swung at. That's going to be over to Clark. He will get it comfortably over to Mallon at first for the 4-3 play. So just 1 hit for MSU Denver in the top of the 8th, but no runs. It will remain a 5-2 lead for the Roadrunners. As UCCS in the top and the bottom of the 8th will have Anderson, Schmidt, and Richards. When we come back, you're watching UCCS baseball. still have Brandon Doherty on the mound for MSU Denver. 93 pitches for him so far today. In the start, he's looking to at least claim his third win of the season. If he's able to keep the Mount Lions trying to get their first run since the first inning, down 5-2. And leading things off for UCCS will be Jake Anderson. He's reached base twice today. He had a triple in the first and then was hit by a pitch in the fifth. And trying to get Mount Lions started here in the bottom of the eighth. Down by 3, 5-2. That first pitch outside and a little almost hit turf for ball number 1. Mount Lions, 2 runs in the first. That's all they've had so far today. Anderson with one of those runs, helped by a triple. 1-0 pitch now from Doherty. A little bit, catches the bottom for strike number 1. 1-1 count for Anderson at the plate. MSU Denver trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. UCCS trying to win their 6th straight here today and take their 3rd series of the season. Anderson now at the plate right there with a 1-1 count. And here comes the pitch from Doherty. That's swung at. That's hit up high. It's going to be in foul territory, but playable. Looks like it'll be the third baseman, Lightly, who's able to make it in foul territory for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Schmidt coming up to the plate. Had a single in the third, but 1 for 3 so far for him today. Freshman catcher for this Mount Lion squad. Richards on deck as part of the leadoff crew here in the bottom of the 8th. Mount Lions trying to rally here in the 8th inning. Able to shut down the MSU Denver offense. No runs in the last 3 innings, but MSU Denver has been able to do the same since the first inning. 1-0 count now for Schmidt at the plate. As Doherty about to hit the century mark, that was pitch number 97, 98 will be coming on this 1-0 pitch. Pitch is now on the way. Comes back in for strike number 1 called. 1-1 count for Schmidt at the plate. One's across the top of the board. 1 out, 1-1 count. For Schmidt at the plate, here it comes. It bounces in the turf for ball number 2. 2-1 count now at the plate. And coming up to pitch number 100 for Doherty on this 2-1 count. Scoring update out of softball action in Grand Junction. Mesa with the 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second in Game 4 of that series in softball action. 2-1 pitch now on the way, swung at and chopped off. Just caught a piece of that as it hits the backstop for a 2-2 count for Schmidt at the plate. Doherty 2 strikeouts on the day. Hasn't had a strikeout since the first inning though. Mount Lions 7 hits to show for the day. 4 of those were coming in the first inning though. 2-2 pitch on the way. That ball swinging at to high into the right field. It'll be Peters who's going to be coming in. It'll be between Peters and Walsh. Looks like Walsh, the second baseman, will make that play in shallow right field for out number 2. And so now Evan Richards, the designated hitter, single into first, but otherwise 1 for 3 on the day for him. Norton, 2 for 3. He's on deck should the inning continue. Mount Lions right now down by 3 to MSU Denver. 5-2. 4 outs left to try to make something happen. That pitch low outside to the left-handed batter for ball number 1. Doherty in line, going for his 3rd win of the season and intense start. Richards at the plate, waiting the 1-0 pitch from Doherty. And outside once again, 2-0 count for Richards. First time that Richards has been ahead in a count like this. It was a 1-2 count when he had a single in the first, 0-2 count when he grounded to a double play in the third, and then was able to make contact on his first pitch he saw in the 5th. That one is fouled off. 2-1 count now for Richards here in the bottom of the 8th. When we come back in the top of the 9th, it'll be Reynolds, Lightly, and Paschke for Metro State. Roadrunners trying to take the win here today. 2-1 pitch now on the way from Doherty. That ball's put in the play. Center field will be between Reynolds and Walsh. And Walsh once again making that play in shallow outfield. So 3 up, 3 down for UCCS in the bottom of the 8th. UCCS will need to do some action in the bottom of the 9th, but MSU Denver will take a 5-2 lead into the final inning, leading 5-2. As we mentioned, it'll be 8-9-1 batters and Reynolds, Lightly, and Paschke when we come back. You're watching UCCS Baseball. MSU Denver 5-2 lead in the 9th inning as UCCS brings in Dagan Rank. Rank, we saw him a little bit yesterday, 2-0 record on the season, 6.46 ERA with 13 strikeouts, making his 16th appearance of the season right now and the top of the 9th inning. As Owen Reynolds now at the plate, first pitch that Rank's pitches, strike number 1 to Reynolds. Reynolds 0 for 3 so far at the plate today. Lightly on deck, then back to the top of the order with Paschke in the hole. 0-1 pitch now from Rank. Reynolds checks the swing and we'll let that one go by for ball number 1. Eric Neely, 1 inning pitch, gave up 1 hit, but no runs, no strikeouts, no balls. Otherwise, threw 8 pitches in that 1 inning of work. 1-1 pitch, a little bit low for ball number 2. 2-1 count now to Reynolds. UCCS trying to keep MSU Denver off the board once again. Rank with that 2-1 pitch. Called strike. 2-2 count now for Reynolds at the plate. Reynolds already a strikeout in the 2nd inning. Had 2 strikes in his other 2 plate appearances in the 4th and the 6th that were put in the play. 2-2 count now on the way from Rank. That ball is fouled off on the right side. Count remains at 2-2 for Reynolds. Ranked a sophomore Longmont, Colorado native. 2-2 pitch from Rank. That ball is hit over to McDermott. He gets in front of it. Gets it over to Mallon without a problem for the 6-3 play to lead off the top of the 9th inning. As MSU Denver now brings up to the plate Tyler Lightly. He walked in the 7th, got all the way over to 3rd, but wasn't able to score. 0 for 2 day for him so far today with a fly ball to right field and a ground out to 2nd in the 2nd and 4th innings respectively. Top of the order and Zach Paschke on deck for MSU Denver. Pitch now from Rank. Just outside for ball number 1. 1-0 count for Lightly at the plate. Try to get you caught up as some other scores are starting to near completion. Bottom of the 8th inning. Mesa leading New Mexico Highlands 10-1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That ball is hit up to Rank. He can't quite make the play. Clark's able to get on the run. Is it going to get over to Mallon? It's a little bit wide though. And so we'll see. That'll probably be a hit, it looks like. As it was, Clark was able to do quite a bit to get it over. It will be rolled to hit, so single for Lightly. Clark everything he could do just to get the ball over to Mallon, just a little bit wide in the process. Probably wouldn't have made it in time anyway. Paschke 0 for 4 at the plate as he's up to the plate. Trying to get something going with 1 out on the top of the ninth. A few insurance runs for MSU Denver. As we continue to look through some scores, bottom of the 7th inning, CSU Pueblo leading Adams State 12-4. As Dixie State leading Regis 11-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes a pitch from Rank. That ball's fouled high behind the press box for an 0-1 count for Paschke. And then the bottom of the 6th inning of a scheduled 7-inning contest, it is Mines leading Colorado Christian 2-0. Bottom of the 6th inning there. And in softball action, 5-1 lead for Mesa in the bottom of the 2nd against UCCS. As Rink goes back over to Mellon at first, as Lightly slides back in safely without a problem. Lightly already 1 stolen base on the day so far today, 9 for 9 on the season. 1 out, top of the 9th inning. 0-1 count to Paschke and called strike, home plate umpire, and now it's Paschke behind the count 0-2. Paschke strikeout in the 7th inning. A couple of fly balls to center field in the 1st and the 5th, and a ground out to shortstop in the 3rd. Rink delivers the 0-2 pitch, swung at a miss, and so strikeout number 14 for Dagan Rink on the season. 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. As Chase Anderson up to the plate, 0 for 3, reached on the error in the 3rd, and we got all the way to 3rd but couldn't score for the Roadrunners. Strikeout looking in the 5th. Mount Lion pitching staff, 6 strikeouts on the day for them. And Mount Lions go back, try to get the pick off with Lightly at first. He slides back in without a problem. Anderson looking for his first pitch at the plate. And Rank goes back over to first. And Lightly back over at first as well. Still an 0-0 count for Anderson at the plate. Logan Sewell on deck for MSU Denver should the inning continue. Roadrunners with the 3-0 lead. Here comes a pitch from Dagan Rank. Strike called by home plate umpire. 0-1 count at the plate for Chase Anderson. Few games that both these teams are going to be looking at are the Dixie games and the Mines games. Rank goes back over. No pickoff attempt there. MSU Denver and UCCS tied to 18-9 in the conference. The two teams half a game behind Mines. Look like Mines is going to take that first game against Christian. But the two teams 1 game ahead of Dixie. 0-1 pitched on the way. That ball is fouled off on the right side for strike number 2. 0-2 count now for Anderson. So whoever wins this game likely will be alone in 3rd place in the conference standings with 2 weekends left of play. And right now it looks like whoever drops this game will be tied for Dixie for 4th in the standings. 0-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Here comes the pitch from Rank. Chopped off on the right side. Count remains at 0-2 for Chase Anderson at the plate. Tyler Lightly at first for MSU Denver after the single. 8th hit of the day for the Roadrunners. There's Rank on the mound. We'll go back over to first, as does Lightly. Lightly, as I said, 1 stolen base on the day so far. Today, 9 for 9 on the season. 0-2 pitch now to the plate, a little bit low, and that will move Lightly over to second base. He's going to slide in. Looks like he's going to get in safely. And so ball number 1 to Chase Anderson in the process, but Lightly goes over to second. And now a runner in scoring position for the Roadrunners. 1-2 count on the board with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Roadrunners lead by 3, trying to add a little bit to it. As the Mount Lions will bring up the 6, 7, 8 batters in the bottom of the 9th. Pitches goes for ball number 2 to Anderson. 2-2 count, 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Two count. Anderson at the plate with Lightly at second. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Here comes the pitch from Rank. That ball is hit high, but behind the press box. Count remains at 2-2 for Chase Anderson. We shall see if Brian Doherty comes back out for the complete game for MSU Denver. On the bottom of the 9th. 2 outs here, top of the 9th though. Runner at second and Ty Lightly for MSU Denver. 2-2 count to plate. And now the pitch from Rank. A little bit in the turf for ball number 3, so count goes forward, lightly stays at second. So a 3-2 count for Anderson as he battles with Rank. Rank already with 1 strikeout in his 2/3 innings of work, 14 strikeouts on the season, 16th appearance of the year. Rank the 3rd pitcher for the Mountain Lions so far today. 3-2 pitch down the way from Rank. That ball's put on the plate. It's going to be a high hit ball. It's going to go in the outfield. Looks like it's going to be Berg that's calling for it. And he does. And so Mountain Lions will need to score 3 runs at least in the bottom of the 9th to keep action going. They will be bringing up to lead things off Cody Norton, John Mallon, and Walker Rumsey. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. See Brandon Doherty still on the mound, going for his first complete game of the season for MSU Denver, as the Roadrunners 3 outs away from claiming their first win of the series. And Cody Norton up to the plate for UCCS. Norton 2 for 3 on the plate today with a single in the 1st and the 4th. Looking to do the same thing today. He led out to 4th with a single, was able to get over to 2nd in both the 1st and 4th, but wasn't able to get past second base in either of those appearances. Here comes the pitch now from Doherty. Pitch number 106 on the day for him is ball number 1 to Cody Norton. Norton, Mallon, and Rumsey, the leadoff batters for UCCS here in the bottom of the 9th. 1-0 pitch down away from Doherty. And ball number 2, Norton checks the swing. 2-0 count now for Norton at the plate. Going for his 3rd hit of the day. 2-0 pitch, low inside and high. 3-0 count for Norton at the plate. There is activity in MSU Denver bullpen just in case, but they are looking to see what they can do to get Norton to get Doherty his 3rd one of the season and his first complete game of the year. 3-0 count, a little bit low, and so a 4-pitch walk for Norton as he will lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Tying run now on deck as Udame will go talk to his pitcher. John Mallon coming up to the plate was hit by a pitch in the 1st. That led the blow to the bases. But otherwise no hit for him and no other time he's been on base as MSU Denver have a meeting at the mound. See what the decision is made. We got Norton over at first base with no outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. UCCS down by 3. Have not scored since the 1st inning. Mountain Lions have been able to keep Roadrunners off the board since the 5th inning. Looks like Doherty will stay in, at least for the time being, for MSU Denver. Doherty, 109 pitches on the day, 2 runs. Those were all allowed in the 1st inning. 7 hits, 4 of those were in the 1st inning. 2 strikeouts, those were both in the 1st inning as well. And that was only Doherty's first walk of the day on that 4-pitch walk to Norton. John Mallon now at the plate for UCCS. Mallon, a .252 batter for UCCS, looking for his first hit of the day and trying to get on base for the 2nd time today. Pitch down the way from Doherty. A little bit high and out for ball number 1. Norton over at first base for UCCS. 21 stolen bases, all 25 attempts for the Mount Lions. Mount Lions need to score at least 3 to extend the action here. 1-0 pitch is now on the way. Catches the inside for strike number 1. 1-1 count at the plate for John Mallon. Both these teams will have an extra day of rest because of the holiday tomorrow. Going into the penultimate series of the weekends next weekend. UCCS will be at home against Mines. MSU Denver will be at home against Mesa. 1-1 pitch now from Doherty. That ball is swung out and fouled into the net as Mallon will now have a 1-2 count at the plate. Doherty looking for his first strikeout since the first inning of the game today. As you see right there, looking over at first base where Norton is for the moment. 21 stolen bases on the year. One-two pitch now from Doherty. A little bit low for ball number 2. 2-2 count from Allen at the plate. Well, no outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tying run on deck for the Mountain Lions. Norton, third time he's been on base today. The previous 2 times he's been at least able to get over to second. Hasn't been able to do anything more than that though. Mountain Lions 2 runs on 7 hits. They've had 1 error. 2-2 pitch now on the way. Swung out and miss. And so strikeout number 3 for Brandon Doherty. Swinging strikeout for John Mallon. 1 out, bottom of the 9th as Walker Ramsey up to the plate. Reached base after being hit by a pitch in the 4th. But otherwise a strikeout and the fly ball to right field in the 1st and 6th innings. Norton still on his first base for the Mountain Lions. As looks like we will have a pinch runner. Pinch hitter in Riley Gregory. Riley Gregory. We've seen him in action so far this season. A .343 batter for the Mountain Lions. Norton is still over on first for Mountain Lions. Here comes the pitch. Goes for ball number 1. 0-1 count now for Gregory at the plate. As a pinch hitter, Norton still over at first base. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Tying run still on deck. That would be Matt McDermott. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung out and fouled off for strike number 1. 1-1 count now for Gregory. UCCS going for their 6th straight victory. MSU Denver looking to snap a 4-game losing streak in the process today. And winning team will take 3rd alone in the conference. Losing team likely will move into a tie for 4th with Dixie. 1-1 count, 1 out. Here comes a pitch from Doherty, a little bit outside in the turf for ball number 2. Doherty looking for his first complete game of the year. And his 3rd win of the season. 2-1 count, 1 out, runner at first for the Mountain Lions. Bottom of the 9th inning, needing at least 3. 2-1 pitch is now on the way. Swung out and fouled off again. Count now evens up for Gregory at 2-2. Mountain Lions trying to get something across the base for the first time since the first inning. I've only once since the first inning gotten a runner to 3rd. 2-2 count. That ball is just foul. That would have been a great opportunity. That probably would have brought Norton all the way to 3rd. Be interesting to see if he would have been at home in that process, but still a 2-2 count for Gregory at the plate. Straighten that up just a little bit. That would be put UCCS in good position with Matt McDermott coming up still. 2-2 count, 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning for Riley Gregory with Norton at first for the Mountain Lions. And the 2-2 pitch is on the way and catches him on the shoulder. So a hit by pitch will put Gregory onto first, put Norton onto second. Now the tying run at the plate and Matt McDermott, MSU Denver coach, arguing that play. Whether Gregory made any home plate umpire is either home plate umpire will at least confer with his colleagues in the field, see what they thought, just based on the initial body language from MSU Denver that either he leaned into it or didn't make enough effort to get out of the way in time. In UCCS's defense, this was 4th time that Doherty has hit a Mountain Lion batter today. 114 pitches for Doherty so far today for the junior, going for his first complete game of the year. And they are going to keep Gregory over at first base. So you got Gregory at first, Norton over on second in scoring position. Second time today he's reached second. Matt McDermott at the plate 0 for 3 for him today. A .372 hitter coming into today. Looks like we might have some movement on the mound as MSU Denver is bringing in the infielders. And we are. And so Riley Gregory almost got the complete game for MSU Denver. We're going to take a quick break, get to meet the new pitcher, as well as get the new pitcher some warm-up throws as we come back. Mountain Lions threatening with the tying run at the plate. When we come back, you're watching UCCS Baseball. Got a look there at Eric Cox, a new pitcher for MSU Denver. 12th appearance of the season, 12 strikeouts and 12 2/3 innings of work. 4.26 ERA for the redshirt freshman from Aurora, Colorado. Coming into the game with runners on first and second. Those two would go to Brandon Doherty if they end up coming through. First pitch that he will throw to Matt McDermott, a called strike by the home plate umpire with one out in the bottom of the 9th inning. McDermott, the tying run for the Mountain Lions. 0 for 3 so far today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That ball is hit high, very high. It's either going to be foul or fair, but it's going to be playable by either team, and it's going to be pop-up fly for first baseman Malkin. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And now top of the order for UCCS and Matt Clark. Matt Clark 0 for 4 today. Looking to get his first hit today as well. Tying run and Matt Clark, go-ahead run and Matt Berg for UCCS, down by 3. Brandon Doherty, 8 1/3 innings pitch, 120 pitches thrown, gave up 7 hits, struck out 3 batters, and walked 1. Two runs so far, but is accountable for both Gregory and Norton on the base pass, as that first pitch to Clark goes by for ball number 1. 1-0 count for Clark at the plate. Looking for his first hit of the day. 1-0 pitch comes in for strike number 1, called. So 1-1 count for Matt Clark. Norton on second. Roy Gregory on first. Mount Lions down by 3, 5-2 to MSU Denver. 1-1 pitch now from Cox. A little bit high for ball number 2. 2-1 count for Clark at the plate. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. In this final game of the series between Mount Lions and Roadrunners here in Colorado Springs. 2-1 pitch, swung and a miss, and so count is now even for Matt Clark, 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Runners on first and second for the Mount Lions. Down to the final out for UCCS. And here comes a 2-2 pitch. That ball's put in the play. Paschke will field it, gets over to second for the force out, and that'll end the game on the fielder's choice. And so Mount Lions fall 5-2 to MSU Denver in the final game of this series. Just over 2.5 hours of action here as Mount Lions and Roadrunners close out the series. UCCS dropping to 26-16 overall. MSU Denver improving to 26-14 overall. MSU Denver now 1 game ahead of UCCS in the standings at 19-9. UCCS dropping to 18-10. Well, UCCS most likely, depending on the final score of the Dixie game, will most likely be in a tie for 4th after this weekend, going into the final 2 series of the year. Brandon Doherty picking up his 3rd win of the season, almost getting his first complete game of the year, as Eric Cox comes in relief for MSU Denver for the final 2 outs. For UCCS, though, they will be back at home for the final game of the final home series of the year. They will be taking on Colorado School of Mines, another important series, as Mount Lions are trying to move up in the standings against Colorado School of Mines. They will be closing out their final 2 games of their series today against Colorado Christian. For MSU Denver, they will also be at home. They've got a tough schedule to end their season. They will be facing Mesa in a 4-game series at home before they go across the Denver metro area for a 4-game series at Colorado School of Mines. UCCS closing out the season on the road at CSU Pueblo 2 weeks from today. I want to thank our entire cast and crew for being out here. It was fantastic weather. I know I wasn't able to make it out for the game at Security Service, but the cast and crew did a great job in that win for UCCS. Mount Lions win the series but don't win today's game. 5-2 fall to MSU Denver. I'm Jared Verner. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. Have a fantastic holiday, and we'll see you back here next week for UCCS against Colorado School of Mines.